What's going on, guys? It's Jeremy. Today we're going to be talking about the significance of gear, some considerations you should take when setting up your gear, and my personal gear setup for the Minuteman style roll. Gear is something that's become a lot more popular through the years, and it's really starting to take on a bigger aspect or role in the Second Amendment community and the talk about the Second Amendment. But it wasn't always that way. For a long time, nobody talked about gear or considered that as part of the Second Amendment. It was really all just about one thing:
guns. Lots of guns.
That was until only a few short years ago when companies like T-Rex Arms or YouTube pages like Garand Thumb, and other content creators and companies started pushing for that more well-armed, prepared, and trained civilian aspect or role when it comes to the Second Amendment. Because in the end, the Second Amendment wasn't created for hunting deer or defending your home. It was about defending your communities and your country from tyranny, both foreign and domestic. And in modern day, with all the advancement we've had, especially when it comes to gear and weapons, the gear aspect of that takes a really big role to be able to really implement your rifle and yourself within whatever situation you find yourself. But let's talk about gear considerations. So there's three main things I always tell people to hit when it comes to setting up their gear. And by no means in my Marine Corps career was I a helicopter riding, door kicking, tier 1 operator. I did embassy security, so take everything I say with a grain of salt. I don't know everything. I don't claim to know everything. Your situation may be different than my situation. Your experience may be different than my experience. So always search out for multiple opinions and different knowledge and whatnot, and really form the best opinion for yourself. But let's talk gear considerations. So the three things I always tell people to consider is ammo, water, and medical. You can't win a fight without ammo. You can't survive without water. And if you can make holes, you should be able to plug or fill holes. So with ammo, a lot of people always argue about how many magazines you should carry for your primary and your secondary. Let's focus really just on your primary, which is your rifle. I have carried 5 magazines. I've carried 7 magazines. At one point in time, I've carried 14 magazines at any point in time in my Marine Corps career. On the civilian side, when I first got out, I set my gear to be able to carry 5 magazines. I've now bumped that up a little bit. But your ammo carry should really be more dependent to your situation and what you see yourself doing with your gear. Definitely consider staying light on your feet to somewhat, but also don't, slim yourself down so much to where you aren't really effective for a very long period of time. Water, obviously, you can't really do anything in the long term without being able to drink or carry some sort of water. Carrying things like a bladder panel on the back of your plate carrier or a Camelback or anything like that can be really big.
What if I can't carry it?
If you can't carry, you can't drink. You die.
And then medical. I think everybody should have good medical training and they should have good, reliable medical gear. I would even say that medical skills is more important than anything else because you're more likely to use your medical skills on an everyday basis over your gunfighting skills or whatever you want to call it. And everything is situation dependent. You're going to wear a plate carrier, you're going to wear a chest rig. What do you need for your area or, that role that you see yourself playing out in? If you see yourself operating in a mountainous or extremely hilly or dense wooded area, you're probably going to want to wear a chest rig instead of a plate carrier. However, if you see yourself in a suburban or urban area, you're probably going to want plates and a plate carrier because obviously plates stop bullets. At least hopefully yours do. If they don't, sorry, you're out of luck. Hopefully you learned medical or one of your buddies did. But then chest rigs may also carry things differently than your plate carrier will. Is your plate carrier adaptable? Can you add or remove magazines to your plate carrier setup? Can you easily add different MOLLE attachments, or can your plate carrier do the new zipper style? So always look to have options. I really think everybody should carry both a chest rig and a plate carrier, whether they're one and the same or not. Special considerations for your gear setup: pyro, things like smoke and stuff like that. Smoke can be really good for concealing movement or marking. Comms, radios and stuff like that, big portion. Communications makes everything go a lot easier. whether you're in some sort of operational environment or you're helping with natural disasters and whatnot. Being able to talk to different teams in any type of dangerous environment is really good. Food, I always tell people they should carry some sort of small snacks on them. Being able to take in calories not only prolongs your operational capability, but it's also an extreme morale booster. So if you find somewhere on your gear to throw some trail mix or a couple Cliff Bars or jerky or something like that, I definitely recommend it. I carry Cliff Bars on pretty much all of my gear, which you guys will see here in a little bit. So let's go take a look at my gear and we'll talk about some of the things I have set up and why I have them set up that way. All right, guys, here we have my gear laid out on a tarp. We're going to talk about the, more PPE, plate carrier helmet side of things first, and then we're going to talk about the more lighter setup. So first we'll talk about my helmet. This is a Hoplite Armor ballistic helmet with Contact 3s. I very much like this helmet. It's extremely comfortable. I don't believe Hoplite Armor makes ballistic helmets anymore, but they do still make plates, and we'll talk about those in a second. But when it comes to helmet setups, not only are they good for some sort of protection, whether it's just bump or it's ballistic, but it's an easy way for you to be able to carry hearing protection. And I really think everybody should carry some sort of hearing protection. People have, deployed overseas and operated for many, many years without hearing protection, and now all of them have hearing problems. So there's absolutely no reason for you not to carry some sort of hearing protection. And on the back, I have a counterweight, some batteries that go to my PBS 14. I definitely really like that. A lot easier on my neck when my helmet is more balanced out. Let's go to my belt. For my belt setup, starting left to right, we have high-speed gear taco pouches. I have 2 pistol and a rifle. Then I have a Condor dump pouch. Yes, it's Condor, but I've had this dump pouch for over 3 years now, and it's the same dump pouch. There's nothing to complain about that. Then I have a tourniquet. I have a Condor flashlight pouch with a Streamlight flashlight in there. I always like having a handheld flashlight, even though all of my weapons have lights on them. I just think it's nice to have a handheld flashlight to use at any time. Then I have a Safariland drop holster, and then for my shooting gloves, I have Pigs. I've used a lot of shooting gloves, and I think I really like Pigs the most. Then the belt itself is a newer upgrade. For those that follow me on Instagram know, this is the T-Rex Arms Orion's belt. I really like this belt. It's extremely comfortable. It barely moves on my belt line, and I have really much already started to like this belt. Now we have my plate carrier. This is a modular plate carrier from LBX. I've had this one for a little over a year now, and it's also extremely comfortable. I have no complaints when it comes to this. It is really held up quite well. Starting with the front, I have 4 magazines up front, and then I have my admin pouch. Now, I have that 1 magazine offset and then my admin pouch. I have really just really recently changed that. I used to only run 3 mags up front, but I have recently added another magazine and then added the admin pouch. In the admin pouch, I carry things like local maps, lighter, pens, compass. I carry a spare battery for my radio in there. Just, very basic things I think that I should always have on me or can be easy to get to that I don't necessarily want to or need to keep in my pack. So I really like having that admin pouch on there. And then I have a drop, an abdominal drop pouch here for my IFAK, full IFAK in there with all North American Rescue medical gear. And I also always tell people, if you're going to have an IFAK on your gear, make sure you mark your blood type on your IFAK. Moving towards the back, I have I believe this is also a Condor hydration panel on there. It also has a little admin pouch on there. I keep a pair of backup iron sights that's zeroed for my rifle. I keep a couple Cliff Bars, and I keep a lighter in there. In the actual bladder portion itself, I carry a life straw in there, just in case I'm ever separated from my pack from a long period of time and I can't get to my Sawyer water filter. I have my life straw and I have a way to get clean water. Something I've added to my plate carrier panel on the back is this punch rod.
I've really added that just as like a way to aid everybody's weapon, whoever I may be, with at the time. If your barrel gets some sort of jam down the barrel or becomes caked in mud because you fell and stuck your barrel in the mud, we can take that off the back of the plate carrier, screw it together, and punch your barrel. On the sides, I have my radio. I just rock a Baofeng. I don't rock anything fancy, with a modified push-to-talk to use with the Baofeng. I carry a tourniquet off my left side that I can easily reach with my left arm. And then on the far right side, I have my Gerber Strongman knife. I have a M14 smoke grenade, and then I have a Leatherman. I'm sorry, that's a Gerber, I believe. And that's really my plate carrier. It's not too heavy. If you think your gear is heavy, work out more and become big and strong. Gear is heavy. Deal with it. Let's talk about my lighter setup with my chest rig. So for my light setup, I have a chest rig, and then I have a Camelback that matches with it. In my Camelback, I have a similar setup to what was in my back panel for my plate carrier. So there's a life straw in there. There is a lighter. There's Cliff Bars and a few other small admin things. For my chest rig, I don't remember what brand this is off the top of my head. I acquired it when I was in the Marine Corps, and I've used it ever since because I just haven't decided to buy a new chest rig. This one does just fine. So I carry 4 mags, my radio, 2 secondary magazines. In this pouch, I have a smoke grenade. In this pouch, I have a small amount of note-taking gear, maps, and a compass and a lighter. And then this one is my snack pouch. I have Cliff Bars in here. And then this one, I can either put a multi-tool or a flashlight. It really just depends what I want to carry. But this is usually what I wear if I'm in a very wooded environment or I'm hiking with my big pack or anything like that. I will always wear my chest rig over my plate carrier. As always, guys, remember with this, ammo, water, medical. My abdominal IFAK here is able to hook onto the back of here and also work as a dangler. So either way, I always have ammo, always have water, always have medical.
All right, guys, that's all I have for gear. Whether you're a newer guy or a more experienced guy, hopefully you learned something from this video. If you saw something or thought of something that I didn't cover that you thought I should have, leave it in the comments down below for everybody else to see, and we can talk about it. As always, guys, remember that you have to do more than just own the gear. You have to train with the gear. You have to understand the gear. But if you can't be cool, look cool. No, I'm completely kidding. Go train, guys. That's all I got, guys. As always, train hard, train often.